What's going on, guys? Sumi here with Thoughtcast, and today I'm going to talk about what do I do if my ex won't leave me alone. For those of you that don't know us, we're a Thoughtcast. We're a holistic healing platform that focuses on giving people the guidance, the navigation that they need to overcome certain areas in their life and become the best versions of themselves. Let's get right into it of what to do when your ex won't leave you alone. First off, you got to understand why they won't leave you alone. This is where you need to really do the research. Why is a very important question to ask, because first off, understanding why can help you kind of stop the behavior a lot of times. Most exes don't want to let go of you because they still want you to be a part of their life, and they still want you to fiend over them, and they still want the attention that you have, and sometimes they still want to string you along. If someone is truly done with you and someone does not want anything to do with you, they're going to walk away. But many times you may leave a relationship because someone committed an infidelity, because someone is just incompatible with you, maybe because someone just won't give you commitment. There's some level of incompatibility there, but that person doesn't want to let you go. That person still wants your energy in their life. Very simple. Just understand that. That person wants you to engage with them in some aspect, shape, or form. That person wants you to think of them. That person wants you to not let go of them and effectively not move on a lot of times. And this can be very, very selfish. They can come and go. They can say that they're going to change, and then they can give you a little bit of consistency and then fade off. It happens a lot. They can say and do all these things, but you're not getting those results. And I'll tell you this right now. If you've been with your ex for a period of time, a couple years, I would say, and you don't see them changing, and you don't see the relationship progressing forward, and you don't see the relationship stabilizing, and there's still volatility, it's a good situation for you to move away. And if that ex is constantly coming and going and doing this and doing that, then it's also an engagement of instability in your life, and you have to cut off those engagements. It's very important for you to understand the superficial layer of why they don't want to let go, because this is going to allow you to open up into the solution. So I've had all sorts of situations, and I've dealt with all sorts of situations where exes won't let go of people and exes won't let go of me in my own personal life. And there's a variety of them. Let's talk about them and break them down. Number one, there's a situation where your ex just doesn't want to let go of you because they're still in love with you. And this is a tough one. This is probably the hardest one to really deal with. Sometimes they're just in a very down emotional state. They don't necessarily feel 100%. I mean, sometimes they may even threaten to hurt themselves if you let go of them. And so it becomes very difficult for you to cut that off in an organic manner. And what you must do in this situation is not necessarily be their friend, because a lot of you will rationalize that I should be friends with them because I don't want to be mean. But being mean is the number one thing that you should do in a sense, because you need to allow them to understand that you don't want to be with them anymore. You have to let them swallow that pill. You have to let them internalize the idea that you can't be together. By being their friend and by giving them some level of attention, it still feeds that fire of love that they have for you. And that's very dangerous. They need to deprioritize from you. So if your ex is still in love with you and doesn't want to let you go, and obviously states this and is very vocal about it, then you've got to kind of starve them on the attention. You've got to kind of shut them down. And if they're in a situation where they're going to hurt themselves, you need to call everybody that you know, friends, family, and allow them to understand the situation at hand. You can never get isolated by that. I have been in situations where exes have told me that I'm going to hurt myself, and if you tell anybody, I'm going to really do it. And it's very, very scary. I have been there. It is not fun. It is absolutely devastating, and it's very paralytic. And what you must do is find a way to talk to someone that is close to you guys, to let them know what's going on and to interject and to cause that awkwardness to kind of be brought up to a surface. Because once somebody else gets involved, then it's going to relieve you of a lot of that responsibility. You need to get them help. On the flip side, if your ex is just kind of playing the back and forth game and they won't let you go, and they're, talking about that they want to work on things and they still care about you and they're playing these kind of mind games with you, that's an even bigger situation where you have to kind of shut everything off. And sometimes it starts the conversation more so to yourself of understanding this person is not going to give you what you want. This person is not going to give you the commitment. It's been 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years that you haven't gotten what you needed from this person. So it's not going to happen now. And if you sit around and wait on their timeline, then you're not living for yourself. You're living on a timeline of someone else and hoping that something will happen and hoping that this commitment will magically fall into place. The more you reward this negative behavior, the more you reinforce it, the more you amplify, and the more you allow it to keep happening. What you permit is what you promote. So if an ex is able to just come and go in your life all the time, then you're never going to get that level of commitment from them, because they know that they can do whatever they want. They know they can leverage you however they want. The last scenario I really want to talk about, and these are on a spectrum here, is where your ex is very threatening. They're scary. They're threatening you that if you were with somebody else, you're going to get in trouble. You need to get somebody involved. You need to get protection. You need to call the authorities. Honestly, this is not legal advice, but you can file a telecommunications violation and you can allow them to understand that something is going to happen. And 9 times out of 10, they may not even do anything. They might just have a phone call with them and just let them know, hey, look, this person just doesn't want you to contact them. Just do that. But if it gets to a situation that's very dangerous, you need to get some protection. You need to get in an area where it's safe. I've seen situations like this where exes are, pulling up, doing things, talking crazy, threatening people that would talk to you. It's not fun. But at the same time, you have to get authorities involved. Sometimes you have to get legal involved. So I'm not going to advise you on exactly how to do that, but if you're in a situation where you're getting your life threatened and your livelihood threatened and people around you threatened, you need to get somebody to step in. Your ex is someone that should be exited out of your life. You should not be talking to your ex. Even if you guys had the best friendship ever and everything like that, it's very hard to go back from that mindset of I love you, I want to build a life with you, I want to have kids with you, to let's just be friends and shake on it. Like, that's very hard to regress to that. It's not realistic. It can happen in 1% of scenarios, but it's just not realistic. It's not worth you putting the time, effort, energy in those situations. Even if you're co-parenting with someone, right? They're your ex. They're not your friend. They're your co-parent. So you get along with them. You're cordial with them, but you're not trying to hang out with them and grab ice cream on a Sunday and relive the fun times in the past and act like a family. Like, that is not what you need to be doing. You need to be focusing on setting boundaries and reinforcing them as much as you can, because you need to live your life and you need to continue what you need to do, and you need to allow them to live their life. When your ex is trying to get back into your life, it's a sign that they didn't find somebody that loved them as much as you did. And it's also a sign that they may be selfish, and it's also a sign that they're not emotionally stable enough to engage in a relationship. They need to understand that you want to move away. And I'm operating in a sense of the situation that you do want to move away. So you have to learn to create that distance. You have to learn to tell your ex, hey, look, it's over. I care about you. I'm always going to love you. But we can't continue communicating. We can't continue talking. This isn't good for both of us. You need to live your life and I need to live mine. And although it's going to hurt us, I know that in the end, it's going to be a lot better for both of us. Make it about both of you. Let them know that it's not about, I don't want to be with you. Just say, look, I'm not happy. And as a result, you're not going to be happy. And we're both not going to be happy. And we're having problems. It doesn't make sense for us. You've got to let them know it's for us not making sense, not just for you. That kind of primes it in their mind a little bit more to understand, like, this doesn't make sense for me. Because when you talk from their perspective, it gives them more of a bias towards who they are and their mindset. So talk about not being with them in a unified mindset. We are not good together. We are never happy. We always argue. This won't be good for us. We're better off finding people that make more sense for us. And the simple things, I'm just going to be obvious here. If your ex is not leaving you alone, block them. Set barriers up. Let them know that you don't want to communicate with them. Don't lead them on for the attention, the verification, and the validation, because then you're just hurting them. That's a very, very mean thing to do. And if you know that your ex doesn't want to stop talking to you and they still want to stop reaching out to you because they still care about you, you'd be the worst person in the world to lead them on and to allow them to stay there and manipulate them. That's really going to hurt them. And I don't want you to have that bad karma. With that being said, guys, if your ex is not leaving you alone or you have any questions like this, definitely put some information down in the ThoughtCast community. The link is down in the description below. We have a lot of cool content that comes out in the ThoughtCast community, and it's a private community where you can engage with a lot of different people. You can share ideas, learn more information about yourself, and connect with people that may be in the same situation that you're in right now. And sometimes connecting with people that are in the same situation can help us understand our own. With that being said, guys, if you ever want to connect with me, links are down in the description below. Until next time, Sumi out.